Every Saturday morning, I watch a Premier League match with my coffee before work. Every Saturday morning, an American coworker asks me why a guy just got a yellow card for basically breathing near another guy. I explain fouls. He nods. A few weeks later, that same player is suddenly not playing. Nobody got hurt. There was no red card. My coworker looks at me like I'm hiding something from him. Here's what most people actually get wrong about how yellow cards quietly end a player's month. People assume a yellow card is a warning, something that happens, gets noted, and disappears once the referee moves on. Wrong. Every single yellow card a player picks up in a competition stays on a running tally for the entire season. In the Premier League, 5 yellow cards before match day 19 triggers an automatic 1-match ban. Not a fine. Not a stern conversation with the manager. A ban. And the threshold keeps climbing as the season goes on. 10 cards gets you another ban later. 15 gets you a third. The league does this on purpose, so a player can't just collect fouls quietly all season and cash them in for one cheap suspension in May. People assume that once a player serves that ban, the counter resets to 0. Fresh start. Clean slate. Wrong again. The count does not reset. It keeps climbing. A player who served a 1-match ban at 5 cards is still sitting on 5 cards. He just walks straight toward the next threshold like nothing happened. This is why a player who looked perfectly reformed after a suspension in November suddenly vanishes from the lineup again in March, and commentators act shocked. The math was sitting right there the entire time. Nobody was hiding it. I have watched a fan base spend an entire fixture congratulating their defensive midfielder for cleaning up his game after his first ban. Meanwhile, his card count was quietly sitting at 6. He picked up card number 10 in February. Same headline. Same shocked reactions. Nothing had actually changed except everyone's memory. Myth 3 is the one that actually starts arguments at bars. People assume a second yellow card in the same match gets treated more gently than a straight red, because technically nobody did one big dramatic thing. Also wrong. For suspension purposes, a second yellow is a red card. Full stop. Same punishment. Same aftermath. The only real difference is presentation. A straight red is usually one violent, obvious moment that gets replayed in slow motion for a week. A second yellow is quieter. A guy gets booked in the 11th minute for a lazy tackle. He spends the next 70 minutes playing like he's walking across a frozen lake. Then the striker is faster than his patience, and he panics into a second foul. The referee isn't punishing one crime there. He's punishing a pattern. The score sheet doesn't care about the difference. The Champions League runs its own separate math, and it makes everything worse. 3 yellow cards there, not 5, and it's a 1-match ban. After that, every odd-numbered caution stacks another one on top. 5, 7, 9. A player can be completely fine domestically and still watch a Champions League quarterfinal from a hotel room because he picked up his 3rd yellow of the competition against a team nobody remembers by April. None of these ledgers talk to each other either. Premier League cards do not carry into the FA Cup or the League Cup. Champions League cards do not care what happened in the Premier League the weekend before. Every competition keeps its own quiet running total in the background, while everyone in the stadium is watching the ball instead of the clipboard. So the next time a player picks up his 4th yellow card of the season for what looks like a light tap on the ankle, that's not the referee overreacting. That's a countdown. It started months ago, and nobody announced it. My coworker still thinks these suspensions come out of nowhere. I've stopped correcting him. He gets more entertainment out of being confused than I would get out of being right. Some countdowns you just have to let people watch happen on their own.